we continue on our swing overseas in the BodyArmor Pro Series. 2 straight races over in Europe, the final one in Europe this season for these drivers. And we come to a racetrack that used to run in the Cup Series back in the day for many, many years. So many of these drivers have run here before, and we are back here today for the first time in 4 years on the channel. It's the Rockingham Motor Speedway in Rockingham, UK. 42 laps of action around this trapezoid-shaped racetrack. It's the Grand Prix of Great Britain, the 7th race of the season here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Rockingham Motor Speedway in Rockingham, United Kingdom. We are here on the 4th of July, ironically, and happy 4th of July to all the Americans out there. The reason why this race is going up on noon on a Thursday, because it's our big day over here in the States, and what better way than to celebrate with a stock car race in the race that we declared, in the country that we declared independence from. Hey, you know what? It works out. We're here. We're excited to be back here as well, and this is a very fun racetrack. Doing testing a little while ago, these guys sliding off the exits of these corners. This is so much fun. It's a shame that we actually got rid of this track over in the Cup Series back in the day, because it would make for a great wall ball Cup Series race, but only so many slots over there, which is why we're here today in the BodyArmor Pro Series for the 7th race of the season. Joined alongside once again Andrew Miller for the call of today's event. And Andrew, it's a very, very interesting racetrack, and I don't know how much you know about it. You thought this was Rockingham, North Carolina when we got started, but seeing the outline of the track, what do you think we're going to see today for 42 laps around this trapezoid-shaped racetrack?
The trapezoid probably sums it up the best. I mean, you got some different length straightaways. Each corner looks pretty unique as far as the turning radius. So there's going to be a lot of different challenges for these guys. And as you said, I mean, 4 years, it's been a while since a lot of these guys have seen this racetrack. But for how long a lot of these guys have been on the channel, most of them have at one point or another. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're breaking up maybe an old bag of tricks. Maybe you're trying to get around this track, but ultimately try to keep the car under you for probably the first half, and then try to see if you can make your way forward after that. But I mean, hey, it's the Pro Series, so we've seen how crazy this series can get, and how many different tracks we've seen as well. So all kinds of unique challenges that these guys are getting thrown, and hey, they're going to get thrown another one. Who's going to emerge on top? We'll find out.
We're going to find out and see. Of course, this is the Pro Series. Only the top 10 drivers in each race finish with championship points at the end of each race. That's what I meant to say right there. But you guys get the top 10 get points just like Formula 1. Exact same points format to Formula 1. Just fitting the Grand Prix of Great Britain is today. And then we've got the British Grand Prix in Formula 1 this coming Sunday. So, you know, we're in the right place for it this weekend. And once you know it, this championship battle is very close. And the 5 guys who have won races this season are top 5 in points after 6 races. Christian Master, who starts on the pole here today for this one, has 1 point ahead of Nathan Stapleton. Chris Stapleton, a 2-time winner this season at Hillside and Coca-Cola. You also got Thomas Troxel, won the opening race of the season, 10 points behind. Nicholas Samedeo, 13 points behind. And our last winner, Blaine Keys, 25 points behind. All those drivers have a mathematical chance at taking or tying for the points lead at the end of today's event. Joe Rutkowski, the highest of the drivers who have not gone the victory lane yet this season. He's 33 behind, and you got Jesse Turner, 34 behind, Travis Crampton, 38 behind, and so on. Of course, 25 points for the race win, 18 the second, 15 the third, then it's 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1 going down the order for the top 10 finishers here today. And no pit stops in this race either, so you have to work your way from the back to the front if you're starting in the back for this one. And that might be a little difficult on a racetrack such as this one. But we're excited to see how it all goes down. These guys are going to be sliding around off the exit of these corners, especially off the exit of turn number 1. That is a place that we tend to see it quite a bit here. But all of these corners are unique from one another, and it will provide for some excellent racing here today at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Christian Master starts on the pole in number 16 alongside the 75 machine of Trey Bartow. We got the 99 machine of Blaine Keys, who won the last race here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. He's to the inside of Joe Rutkowski there in row number 2. We've got ourselves the 54 of Tanner Parton, who's been doing an excellent job alongside all these veterans to the inside of the 13 machine of Drew Webb. We got Logan Williams who won about a week ago at the IndyCar Series at Chicagoland. He's to the inside of Stuart Gratton in the 18, and then you got the 71 machine Agar Barretta to the inside of the 53, driven by Brad Stover. That's the top 10 starting positions here for the Grand Prix of Great Britain. Let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off here from the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Make sure all of these guys roll off, of course, for this 42-lap event. Want to make sure everyone does, in fact, get to start this event. Of course, Nicholas Samadillo, last time out here in the Pro Series, got wrecked out on the first lap at Le Mans, and that's why he's starting in the last position here today. But I got to ask you, Andrew, who do you think's got the best shot at going to victory lane here around the Rockingham Motor Speedway?
Oh, man. It's a good question with the uncertainty factor that always goes into these races. I think that inside lane's still going to be the right place to be. Oh my goodness, this track is wide. I'm going to go 54. Tanner Parton there in the inside lane. Probably a good position, and with the guys sliding around like you're talking about. I don't know. I think it's going to put him in decent chance to capitalize on any mistakes from any of the front runners. But a shot in the dark here. We'll see what happens.
It's going to be interesting to see how it ends up shaking out. We got our last two winners of Christian Master and Blaine Keys starting first and third here today. Of course, Master got the win at Indianapolis. And then, of course, Blaine Keys got the race victory at Le Mans. And we got a stretch of races coming up here where we'll be racing a little bit more frequently for these guys. We got ourselves Armory Digital coming up in about a week, 2.5 weeks, I should say. And then we got the Kentucky race 2 weeks after that. So, going to be fascinating to see how this championship ends up shaking out once we move through August and into September and the finale in October. But we're here on the 4th of July, and it's going to be a fun one here as we bring these American stock cars to Great Britain. Green flags in the air. We're racing here in the BodyArmor Pro Series at Rockingham Motor Speedway. And lap number 1 looks to be led by Christian Master. It will, in fact, be led by Christian Master here today. Blaine Keys up to second. Joe Rutkowski looking to take second away from Keys. And right there's where I'm saying they get a good run through the inside of turn 1. And I hear, oh my goodness, we got ourselves a wreck already. That's Thomas Troxel, Derek Hamill, Chase Harris in the back, Nicholas Samadillo again, and Jesse Turner. And more likely than not, they got slid up there in turn number 1, and it caused a big wreck in the back of the field.
I thought I saw 3 wide going into turn 4 just before the start-finish line. I'm willing to bet that they probably held it like that. And, yeah, on a track this wide, but just that kind of encourages, maybe a little more aggression. And, of course, the double file start causing some mayhem, and we just saw it right there. And, man, those cars are mauled after that one.
And that's not good for Jesse Turner. Thomas Troxel, guys who are further up there in the point standings. Does not look like they will receive any championship points here today. And Chase Harris got his first points of the season last time out at Le Mans. He's not going to be getting any points in this one. If you know my personal life, you know I don't care about that car getting wrecked. Nothing against Chase Harris, it's just what's on the car. All right, well, our first caution of the day here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. We got Thomas Troxel, Jesse Turner, and Derek Hamill. Looks like they're going to probably be out of the race or at least off the pace, which could get interesting. Nicholas Samadillo avoided that accident, but it's Christian Master out front in the number 16. Let's see what happened to bring out the caution here in the Grand Prix of Great Britain and get back to racing here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Well, Derek Hamill here in the 22. The reason for this one is overshot it in the turn 1 there to the inside of Reggie Fogelman, and he cut back down on Jesse Turner. Nowhere for Turner to go right there. Yeah, it's just a tough angle going into that corner there. Chase Harris nowhere to go hard into that outside wall. That's going to take Harris out of the race. Thomas Troxel right into those guys, and then the 48 machine of Nicholas Samadillo also hard into the 14 as well. Just a junkyard there at the exit of turn number 1. On lap 2 of the race, Chris, when they're all bunched up like that, and that's when the likelihood of something like that is at its highest. And you see Nicholas Amadio there also getting the Turner again. Amadio's got a lot more damage than what we originally theorized, and I feel like he might be a bit off the pace. We'll have to see how it ends up shaking out. But all these guys, except for Chase Harris, able to continue on after this accident. We'll have to see how it ends up going down for him as this race goes along.
And going off the corner there, all bunched up there, and Hamill going to end up with a little too much sauce going through here. Yeah, I said it. But yep, coming down, gets into Turner, and man, those some slams there at full speed. Watching it back full speed on the replay here. But yeah, those guys are going to be in trouble. Some lucky escapes from guys like Zidell and Stapleton. But yeah, that's not what Sam Adio needed, considering what happened to him in Le Mans and then tonight. Yeah, that's going to be that's going to be hard to try to come back.
Well, Christian Master, I think he's glad that caution came out because Rutkowski was looking right to the inside of him right there. Gonna get a chance to breathe a little bit and focus on this restart, which will come out right now here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Let's get back to the Grand Prix of Great Britain here on the 4th of July here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. We are back here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway for the 7th race of the BodyArmor Pro Series here in 2024. And a big wreck early on in this one. Only one driver getting taken out. That is Chase Harris, but we do have some guys with significant damage. Thomas Troxel, Derek Hamill, and Jesse Turner at the back of the field involved in that accident. Christian Master, your race leader, followed by Joe Rutkowski, who took second away from Blaine Keys. Trey Bartow and Logan Williams ran out the top 5. Definitely an interesting start to the race. They only got 2 laps in before we had a big wreck, but now that we got a single file restart, a good chance that these guys may be able to run a few more laps without them getting into each other. Regardless of the fact, though, Christian Master is ready to go and extend his points lead. We're back underway here in the Grand Prix of Great Britain.
Even start there, but in reference to what you just said, I mean, he's got Rutkowski breathing right down his neck already, getting to the inside, trying to gain on that championship lead.
And he's going to take that away, and this is the driver's 6th in points, so if he gets the win, more likely than not, the top 6 drivers in points will all be the 6 drivers who have won this season. But a good move there out of Joe Rutkowski getting through the corner. The thing I love about this racetrack is you can make a pass through each corner. It's not necessarily like that at every racetrack we go to, but that inside lane's got the momentum through each corner here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. You got Bartow to the inside of Blaine Keys. Blaine Keys slipping back there in the 99. Of course, he has had a lot of success as of late. Of course, did not have the best of runs in the Nashville Cup race, but still hanging in the chase over there. You got Igor Bretto, and of course that outside lane finds some momentum there through turn number 3, which is what makes it very interesting here, as Rutkowski's is pulling away, and his good buddy Trey Bartow, those two guys in the booth a lot for the Simulation Cup Series, which will soon be retired with something new over on Joe's channel. Of course, you all know Joe Rutkowski, the other famous Pennsylvanian NR2003 creator. And no, Andrew, I'm not talking about you, unfortunately, but how about Rutkowski with that significant lead that he's got right now early on in this run?
First off, both you and Joe had me outmatched even at my peak, so come on now. But no, yeah, he's pulling away pretty good here, and yeah, shout out to both him and Trey calling the Simulation Cup Series, and gotta also give a shout out to Joe's BeamNG Monster Jam stuff. I love that stuff whenever he does that, and so credit to him for that as well. Credit to him for the lead that he's got at the moment, but we'll see if now that 75 is getting clear of the guys behind him, if he'll be able to try to run them down as Master going in the wrong direction here.
And of course, if you fall outside the top 10, you don't get any championship points. And oh my goodness, really had to check up there. Drew Webb to the inside of him right there. And how about Matt Tuck as well in the 79 making some moves. There was a pretty big announcement earlier this morning, as far as I know, about those 2 drivers, and they better have made that announcement by now because I just spoiled it. Of course, Logan predicted it, and I know you don't care as much, Andrew, so you can kind of get the infer on that one. But Logan Williams in the 38 got the win last week in the IndyCar Series at Chicagoland, and Caleb put out a very interesting stat, and I kind of knew about this as well. Logan Williams won that race in 22, finished 2nd last year in 23, and then got the win again at Chicagoland. He almost won Honda Indy Chicago 3 years in a row. If it weren't for Nicholas Amadio a year ago, he would have won that thing 3 years in a row. He's running in the points right now. He's losing a spot to Drew Webb. To the inside goes Brad Stover in the 53 machine. Good run for Brad in this race. And Christian Master trying to rebound as well. Not missing anything up front. It's single filed out quite a bit there with the 47 to Joe Rutkowski leading. Trey Bartow, Blaine Keys, Matt Tuck, Drew Webb. That is the top 5. And it's Stover, and we may get some 3 wide. Igor Barretto looking to the inside there. Christian Master and Logan Williams. Alonso in the middle of all of this. That's not the first firestorm he's been in this week. And we'll have to see if he gets any points today in that 39 machine.
On the trouble spot with the tight group here. We saw what happened on the second lap, but they all keep it clean through there. That's impressive. I also got to shout you out, good sir, with dropping all these hints on me during this darn race.
See, by the time this goes up, y'all are going to know what it is.
But I don't.
I know you are not going to spoil that, so I trust you with that information.
I don't even know what it is, so I have nothing to spoil.
Exactly. That's the whole point. For third, Matt Tuck on Blaine Keys, and that 79 looking pretty quick here today. And speaking of Hers Forever Good, next week is the Hers Forever Good 400 at Pocono Raceway. Of course, tomorrow night, the Sirius XM 400 at Chicagoland. A lot of great racing coming up here on the channel. We're all excited for it here. Blaine Keys down to the 4th position, and Drew Webb sliding in 5th. Brad Stover, and then it's still a mess back in here. Christian Masters, Stuart Gratton, Igor Barretto, Hergelarb Alonso, and then Logan Williams currently holding on to that last point. Reggie Fogelman and Caleb Rose here just outside the points right now. They're almost going 3 wide. Some aggressive racing right there to Logan Williams cutting down in front of Caleb Rose and trying to get some momentum on Alonso and Master. Now, the thing about this race not having any pit stops, Joe Rutkowski could very well just drive away with this thing the way it's going right now. It might take another caution for him to lose the lead, but still a long ways left to go in this one. Tire wear will still come into effect here today. You got Trey Bartow there in the 75, trying to move his way through the field. And then Matt Tuck trying to close in on Bartow, so he might have a shot on Rutkowski. The Blaine Keys, Drew Webb inside that top 5 right now. And a lot of shuffling going on back here. Logan Williams sitting inside of Christian Master Alonso as well. We're looking pretty solid right now throughout the field. Here comes Drew Webb to the inside for the 4th position right there. And he may go ahead and take 3rd while he's doing that. To the inside of Matt Tuck for that position. Got to be careful right here off the exit of the corner. And Blaine also going to file in right there. And Matt Tuck's going to lose 2 spots.
It really seems like that inside lane just encourages you to just sail it in there, and I'm seeing that so often. It's like these guys are just dive bombed it in there, and it looks like they've got another 10 miles an hour in the car in the outside lane. It's really, really crazy to watch, and it just makes you wonder, like, oh man, who's going to slide up first and just collect everybody? I thought we were going to see from the 18 a moment ago. But still clean so far, which you know Rutkowski wants everyone behind him to mind their P's and Q's, as his gap is pretty much maintained at the moment. That's exactly what I mean. Goodness gracious.
That was tight right there through the middle of turn 2. And these 3 guys are all back in their respective positions from when the battle first started. Matt Tuck's going to get around Drew Webb, and it went Drew Webb, Blaine Keys, Matt Tuck. It went Drew Webb, Matt Tuck, Blaine Keys. It's gone Blaine Keys, Matt Tuck, Drew Webb. It's gone every possible combination of the order that you can possibly have in that battle, and they've been in that order. So they have definitely shuffled around quite a bit. They've brought in Brad Stover into this battle. Stuart Gratton is 7th. Igor Barretto, Hergelarb Alonso. Travis Crampton all of a sudden in the points in the 10th position right there. Good run for Crampton, who's 8th in the standings coming into this one. Of course, if you don't finish top 10, you don't get any points. A lot of these guys falling back. I'm actually impressed right here with Hamill, Troxel, and Turner. They've got that significant damage. They're actually keeping the pace, so that's good news for Joe Rutkowski. Doesn't look like it'll be a concern in terms of lap traffic in this one. Not a good day for Nicolas Samadeo on the 48. Of course, he did not have a good day at Le Mans and got taken out of that one early on, and he's slipping back even more now. Got the win at GNC Stunt Road. And that was kind of the highlight of his season up to this point. And the way it's looking right now, but then again, Christian Masters outside the points as well, so he will not necessarily lose anything on the points lead. That's the nicer thing about this series. If you have a bad day, but the leader also has a bad day, points leader has a bad day, not going to lose too much in the points, and that is exactly the case for San Mateo at this moment, because Master is also outside of the points right now. It's Joe Rutkowski who's going to be the one who's really going to gain here, because he, along with Blaine Keys, are the only two guys top 6 in points who are currently running top 10 in this race. Drew Webb and Matt Tuck, they got around Blaine Keys. We missed that. And now Drew Webb trying to take third back away from the 79. Brad Stover's up to the 5th position, and then it's Blaine Keys there in 6th, and Drew Webb's going to take third away from Matt Tuck right there. Boy, that's tight right there.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Holy moly. Closing in on the halfway point of this thing. You fancy that the pole sitter and the point leader has gone from, first to outside the points. Stapleton is outside the points. Wanted to say Trucks was outside the points at the moment.
Trucks was caught up in the wreck, so...
Oh yeah, that's true. So, yeah, Rutkowski is in a great position to go from 33 back of the lead to within single digits at this rate.
Of course, we are just past halfway here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Bartow has not been able to close in at all on his fellow Pennsylvanian right there. And I say that, and it looks like he actually did close in quite a bit that lap. We'll have to see if he can run down this 47 and have a shot at the race win here today at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Drew Webb also has a shot, I feel like. That 13's very quick. Oh yeah, that was 0.3 of a second that lap. That's the closest it has been since Rutkowski pulled out ahead to this race lead. Looks like Bartow's finding some speed right there as these tires start to wear out here around this racetrack. Matt Tuck still in 4th. Blaine Keys ahead of Brad Stover, Grattan, Alonzo, Barretto, Crampton, and Logan Williams just outside the points right there. Stapleton trying to get back in the points, trying to take that points lead away from Christian Master, who he just passed. Of course, he's a couple positions behind that top 10 right now as Crampton looks to take another position away there from Igor Barretto for the 9th position.
And wouldn't that be something if Stapleton does find a way to get up into 10th? That would be a tie between him and Master. Which at this rate, it looks like those guys will be holding on to a tie for the point lead if that were to happen. But yeah, Stapleton's got a long way to go, obviously, to make that happen. And so I don't know if that's going to work. And we'll see what Barto's able to do as he's closing in on the 47, but still got to manage those tires. He may have done that up to this point, but now you don't want to chew him up quite yet. He's still got a fair way to go.
We're going to have to see. He is now within 0.4 of a second of Joe Rutkowski, and in a couple of laps, he may be able to get this race lead away. He's got to be careful not to battle with him too much and allow Drew Webb to close in on that battle, because that 13 is very quick, and if you give Drew Webb an opportunity to take the race lead, he might very well go on and take it away. We'll have to see if that ends up being the case. Bartow's still right behind Rutkowski here, and Rutkowski's running a bit of a higher line, and I think we've seen here today that is not necessarily the best place to run through these corners here. Now 0.3 of a second for Bartow and Rutkowski, and he continues to run a lower line where there is simply more grip on that lower line than there is on the higher groove through these corners. And Bartow's going to be there battling with that race lead in just a couple of laps.
Yeah, especially if Bartow's able to make that move. You got him and that's Drew Webb in 3rd right now. Those guys are 10th and 11th in points coming into this thing, 40 and 42 back respectively. They are definitely going to be at least sniffing, getting up there as far as the points lead goes as they run, and especially if that 75 is able to make the move for the race lead. So definitely a little bit of a championship shakeup after this one, regardless.
Yeah, and that's the fun thing about this series. It is hard to build a lead, especially with it being an equal rating series. And these guys shuffling around all the time, and of course, there being much more of a weight added if you win a race versus how it is in the Wall Cup Series. It's not 1 point per position. You get that 25-point bonus for winning a race, and then it falls down to 18 for second, so you already get 7 points on second place, and every point matters because it's a strict points championship. No chase, no playoffs, none of that crap. We really like to do it the right way here on the channel. None of that playoff nonsense. I was thinking about the Truck Series finale last year, the real life one, and I'm still very upset about how Grant Enfinger lost. And granted, he was in that position because of the playoff format, but that ain't no way to determine a champion. We do it the right way here on the channel. So my little rant there. I don't know. I'm just in one of those moods today. You know, you ever get in one of those moods and you just don't care. That's kind of how we're rolling today. Well, Bartow, he doesn't want to care. He wants to go right for it here on Rutkowski, but he's going to have to wind him up right here because he got in the wake, and he is starting to slip back just a little bit here. He hasn't been able to close in the past couple of laps. He's still right there on Rutkowski, but he's also bringing in Drew Webb here. And Grattan making a move on Blaine Keys right there, just sliding his way off the exit of 3. That's for the 6th position.
You know how aggressive the 18 has been with some of the moves that he's made, so no surprise seeing him up there. I guess the series is a little more laid back, you know. I mean, we go to a lot of goofy tracks and everything.
Stover and Tuck. That was close. That's technically Tuck's car when you think about it.
That's true. But no, what I was just getting at was, you know, I mean, hey, you're letting your more chill commentary side come out as well for this series, I think, and that's okay.
We're here having fun. That's what counts. That's the point. This is kind of a superstar series anyway, you know. Like to have a little fun, bring out the superstars in the series, and have a little fun with some racing on the channel. That's ultimately why I started this series, because I wanted to bring some of these tracks that there just wasn't any room for on the Wall Cup Series. Obviously, we're never going to go to GNC Stunt Road in the Wall Cup Series, but this track right here, a very legitimate racetrack, and it's a great one, and it's been a great race here today, and we're far from over here because Bartow is still right there. He's starting to slip back. You know, you mentioned, you know, wearing those tires out early on. He may have used up his tires quite a bit right there, trying to reel Rutkowski in, and now he's starting to slip back again. He's now down to half a second on that 47 of Joe Rutkowski, starting to pull away with this race lead.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know if maybe the 75 closed in because he had initially saved his tires better, or if Rutkowski had dialed back and started saving his own, and that's what caused the gap to close down. Or maybe, yeah, a bit of dirty air going on. And still moving up at that 18.
This 18's closing in pretty quick. He's got a fast car. I can't remember the last time Stuart Grattan won a race on the channel as a driver. It's definitely been a while. He's got 10 laps to go. He would love a caution. If we got a caution in this race, he could definitely have a shot at it there. Stover almost got to the inside of him right there. Blaine's still in the middle of this battle. And then you got Crampton. And then side by side for 9th between Alonso and Barretto. And Alonso almost getting him to Barretto right there. He did get him to Barretto. What am I saying? And Barretto's going to slip back because of that. And here comes Drew Webb trying to close in on Trey Bartow for the 2nd position. And Webb may actually get it on the 75. And he gets around Bartow right here. He might have a shot at Joe Rutkowski for the race lead.
He's got to make that move quick, though, if he's going to really have a chance. I don't know if he's going to have enough regardless, especially if, he does start battling the 75. But yeah, as you said, I mean, it's not like the 47 is starting to pull way away. I mean, it's still just half a second. We'll see what the gap is at the line this time. It looks like it's probably going to be about the same. So as long as he just keeps that stalemate.
Actually, wow. Oh, no, it wasn't. I was about to say, that definitely felt a lot closer. 4/10 now, but here comes Drew Webb. He's got a nose to the inside. He's got it here in turn 2 on Trey Bartow. Reeled him in. He's got to pass him quick if he's going to have any shot on Rutkowski right here. And he will make quick work of Trey Bartow. So now the battle's on between Joe Rutkowski and Drew Webb for this top position. Matt Tuck still holding on the 4th. Stover, Blaine Keys, Stuart Grattan all still in the points. Crampton, Alonso, Barretto. It looks like we've got our top 10 drivers figured out here today. The question is, what order will they be in? And that question's also a question for up front. Drew Webb, will he have enough time to close in and get around this 47?
Does he have enough tires to do it? Lap 36 of 42 was half a second, just a little over half a second that last time. And yeah, he's going to have to close in at least a tenth, if not more, here on this lap in order to have any shot, I think. Ooh, man, he really drove it in that corner hard.
He's trying. He's trying to get it. You know, Drew Webb, outside of the Wall Cup Series, only has one other win. That came in the Superstars Series earlier this year, which next year, those two series, this one and the Superstar Series, more than likely will be combining for a full long-year experience for the Superstar Series or the Pro Series. He's going to keep the BodyArmor Pro Series name, but we're excited for next year's Pro Series. It's going to be an invite series, invite only, I do believe. Some of the best drivers from this past year, so you will see the Wall Cup Series champion of this series. Daytona 500 winner LJ Sametto is going to have an invite to that. Audra Baranowskis, Indy 250 winner. You know, So it's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun next year. Equal Rating Series. And the fun part about what I plan on doing with this series next year is you guys, the drivers, get to choose your number, your manufacturer, and your sponsors for the whole season. You get one scheme, of course, but you get to choose it yourself. You don't have an owner choosing for you, so we're excited for it. And it'll be still on the next-gen car, this next-gen 2018, men's 2018 car set, or should I say mod, not car set. This year is the NR2003 Cup Series Season 10 car set that we currently use for it. But definitely love these next-gen cars, and they've always produced some great racing. Had a great race here today. But Joe Rutkowski, he's really having a great race. It's been a while since he's gone to victory lane as a driver on the channel, and just in general, obviously the owner of Rut Racing over in the Wawa Cup Series, and they're losing both of their drivers at the end of the season. Matthew Hubert's done an excellent job for him this year. Matthew Hubert actually starts on the pole tomorrow night for the Sirius XM 400. And Rutkowski is pulling away now from Drew Webb as Bartow looks to take... Oh my goodness, he almost took himself out there with Drew Webb. That was very tight, and Webb's going to hold on the second right there as Bartow was really going after it. My goodness.
Yeah, that was full-on contact right there. It was either, he got off of him, or those two were both going down to the inside wall. That was not pretty.
Well, good thing for Bartow and Drew Webb that Bartow did step out of that one. That's going to more than likely end Bartow's chances at second, so it's 2 laps to go here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway for Joe Rutkowski. What a dominating race this has been for Joe Rutt here in the Grand Prix of Great Britain. 6th in the points coming into this race. And while he won't take the points lead, he's going to be up there on Christian Master because Master failed the point in this one as Matt Tuck got shuffled out of line. Matt Tuck lost 3 positions right there to Blaine Keys, Stuart Gratton, and Brad Stover. And now Gratton looking to take 5th away, I should say. No, 4th from Blaine Keys. White flag, though, for Joe Rutkowski, who's got about a second on Drew Webb right now. So only unless he blows up on this final lap, which we've seen that before, or only unless he blows a tire in the turn 3, and Drew Webb has experienced that before. It looks like Joe Rutkowski is going to get this race victory here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. What a drive here out of Joe. And it looks like it's going to be his first win as a driver in quite some time on the channel for Joe Rutkowski. Off of turn number 4, he's going to get it done across the pond on July 4th. Joe Rutkowski wins the Grand Prix of Great Britain. Drew Webb, Trey Bartow, Stuart Gratton, Blaine Keys, Brad Stover, Matt Tuck, Travis Crampton, Sergio Alonso, and Igor Barreto, the top 10 here today. And a good drive there out of Joe Rutkowski to get the job done here in the Grand Prix of Great Britain.
Never looked back once he got the lead, and had it down to about a quarter of a second at the closest, but after that he just never lost his cool and kept it going. So a great win then for Mr. Joe Rutt. 0-0-0-0-0. I think I have that right.
I think you're right. It's 5 zeros. Stuart Gratton has won the pole for Armory Digital. It's a shame because that's a racetrack where it doesn't matter if you win the pole or not. If the next race was Kentucky, then I think we'd have a different story on our hands, but not the case. But regardless, Gratton will still start on pole for Armory Digital in a couple weeks' time. We've got ourselves Blaine Keys, Drew Webb, Alonso, and then Brad Stover, the top 5 right there. Rutkowski had the 8th quickest time. Take a look at the rest of the fastest laps. That's how they will line up for the next race. And guess what, Andrew? I'm not going to make the same mistake again where I hit escape twice. I actually showed it before we stepped out, so we don't have to worry about that. Fascinating little race here today. Obviously a bit of, we've had all these Chicagoland races, and of course Chicagoland tomorrow night as well, but a little bit of a different type of race than what we're going to see tomorrow. But regardless of the fact, a fun place, a fun race, and Joe Rutkowski gets it done here in the Grand Prix of Great Britain.
Yeah, good one there. Only one caution, lap 2, and then just green all the rest of the way. Inside was definitely the place to be. But man, yeah, you could just sail it on in there once you got your nose underneath of somebody. So got to see some great hard aggressive racing there. That's what got Stuart Gratton up as far as he did, up to 4th place there. Nearly trouble there between 2nd and 3rd. Yeah, I mean, all in all, I'm impressed that these guys were able to keep it as clean as they did, aside from the first crash. So Credit to them. Onward to Armory Digital, a somewhat unique super speedway with little turns 1 and 2, little weirdness going on there. But a great track nonetheless. It's going to be a lot of fun. But Joe Rutkowski with that win, and this championship is going to be quite shaken up after tonight.
It definitely will. It's going to be fun to see how this points battle ends up shaking out. Going through to the finale at the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, not the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, the one between that we all know and love. Going to be a fun one there once we get to that in mid-October. So we got a little ways to go. We're just in the middle of summer right now, and like I said, our next race here in the BodyArmor Pro Series is going to be the Grand Prix of Armory Digital, Monday, July 22nd at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Some late-night action at Armory Digital Super Speedway, and it's going to be a lot of fun there, as it always is. And that was a fun one here today. Of course, tomorrow night, Sirius XM 400 in the Wall Cup Series. The Wall Cup Series chase is in full effect now, in full swing, and it's going to be very fun to see how it all ends up shaking out as the rest of the season goes along over there. But either way, thank you so much for watching. Happy 4th of July to all the Americans out there. Don't blow your hand up with fireworks. That's unhealthy. And Joe Rutkowski gets the job done here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. Huge thanks to Andrew Miller for joining me here today for the 7th race of the season. Thank you so much for watching once again. Here are the points for the BodyArmor Pro Series after 7 races, and I will see you guys later.